Hey, Slay Nation! It's your host, Heather, back with another episode of the So She Slays podcast. Y'all, I am stoked. I'm so happy to be in the studio with the Retirement House podcast. Now, if y'all don't know who I'm talking about, you're missing out, okay? You're so missing out. I don't know how you don't know. They are viral on TikTok. They're on the socials. I found them on IG because I was scrolling one night late, and I was like, who is this? Who is this group of people just giving me real life advice with all the funnies? I definitely say go check them out. But before we dive into today's podcast, because today we're just going to hit them with some rapid fire real life questions, because I just really think life has probably been doing all of us like in not the best way possible lately. So who better to turn to than people who have been there and done that? But before we get started, ladies, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves and telling me a little bit, about how you even got involved in the Retirement House podcast.
Want to start on that end, or we'll go down the line?
Hi, everyone. I'm Pearl, and this is like a fairy tale. I was scouted.
Oh my goodness.
So I did the audition, and they liked me, so here I am. But it was pretty true to life because I am zany and I am active, and I'm a senior.
Oh, love it. You're like, I check all the boxes.
Well, my name is Galen Baker, and I play Mabel. And the joke is Mabel dances on tables, and that's what I love to do at Retirement House. And I auditioned 3.5 years ago, and they hired me for 2 shoots, and it went viral overnight. And I've been working in front of a camera every week since, and it didn't matter that the whole town was on strike because we're non-union. And so I have just had a ball with this job. I love it.
Oh my goodness. It shows. It definitely shows.
Yeah. And I play Dot on the show. I'm a new addition as Maureen.
Pearl.
Oh, Pearl. Sorry about that. Dot, and my real name is Franny Selkirk. And I was doing stand-up comedy at 75 this year. And the casting director asked me to audition. And so I started in like January. And, the whole thing really fits who I am. I mean, I play the ukulele, I'm kooky, I dance, I sing. Some people think I'm funny. I mean, I just am. And, have some grandchildren, this has been some of the best times I've ever had in my life.
I love that.
You basically, Heather, get paid to play.
Yeah.
Isn't that the best, though? Isn't that like goals, life goals?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day is fun.
Yeah. And so, are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I'm Bubby, and I got into this because my grandson, who is in the business of music, came into the house one day and said, "Hey, Bub, you're on stage 24/7 anyway. You may as well try out for this." And he took me to this audition, and he filmed me, and I got here, and I love it. I'm
And
having
how
so
long
much
have you been
fun
doing
with
it? Yeah.
3.5 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Y'all, I am such even bigger fans now. I mean, this was a for real like production. Like people went and auditioned, and like there was a casting call. Okay, so
Yes, and please don't forget that we have, I think one of the most special things about it is that we're obviously of a certain age, but we're working every time we shoot and every time we travel. We're working with young people who are in their 20s, not even probably 30 yet. And so we have built a beautiful bridge of older and younger, and we're a real family. There's no question about it.
right.
I love that so much, and I think that's what makes your podcast stand out. Like that, it's very apparent. It comes across, and as a working actor myself, I can relate, and I love the fact that y'all are like coming from that background, and you're still working. Look at you.
And
at you.
all of us will do anything. I mean,
Almost.
Well, maybe not
we're
anything,
not taking off our clothes, but
legal stuff.
but almost anything.
You're like, there's a caveat here. Oh my goodness. Like I said, it so shows. And to Slay Nation, if you have not listened you or watched, because we have video also too. If you haven't listened or watched to their podcast, it's fun. It's so much fun. Okay, so as we dive into these like questions here, I am just saying, give it to me straight. Okay. I take great pride in being able to represent the So She Slays Slay Nation community. And so I take great pride in being able to ask you these questions. So give it to me straight, ladies. Okay.
Might be
We're gonna
you're asking for it.
Shoot.
I'm asking for it. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Oh, it's good.
Okay. So one of the first questions I have is, what is one thing young people stress about that absolutely just does not matter in the long run?
They care too much about what other people think about them, and everybody's thinking about themselves. Nobody cares what you're doing. Just be yourself. You're good enough.
I also think that people think about, what am I going to be? What's my job going to be when I get out of college? What's my, where do I fit in? And truthfully, I mean, you never know what's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? Somebody says, oh, they need somebody over here. Would you mind helping us, making a few dollars and doing this job? And I find that I never expected most of the, jobs that I've ever had. They just sort of came my way. You have to say yes, is what I think. You have to say yes.
I notice in my grandchildren, they're all very hard workers and they're there to achieve what they want. And they're all sort of in show business too.
Oh, wow.
So, but they just keep chugging along and they're not afraid to do it.
Life is such an interesting thing because we don't have a time that we're going to be out of here. We don't know when we're going to be out of here. It can be in 1 minute. That's how much time we have. So I am suggesting that young people realize that they're in the now, the now, the now. We have now, we have now, we have now. And that they don't try to think, oh, what am I going to be doing later? Blah, 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 blah. No, you don't even know there's going to be a later. Please just stay in the now.
I agree with you. And honestly, one additional thing is that in the same vein, I feel like it's like the be here now thing. And I feel like my father was always like 3 steps ahead and wasn't smelling the roses, and because he's worried about money and, taking care of the family and how it was going to go. And I understand some of that because there's pressures and we weren't wealthy, but I feel like take a second, listen to people look at them as they're talking to you, make them feel like you're their best friend.
I think you have to think about the future, or the future's going to come and you better be prepared for it, or you're going to run into lots of problems. And you can still be in the now and look towards the future.
Of course. Yeah.
Right. But most of the things that you worry about are never going to happen. And the only thing you can change about the past is how you feel about it. You can't change any of the stuff you've done. So please consider staying in the now. And if you're in the now, really in the now, you're going to create a future that you're really happy with.
I want to add to that. I think what you were saying was like, yeah, you have to prepare to go to college or go in the field that you want to be, study and stuff like that. And that's always good. But sometimes so many people that I know do not go into the field that they studied. So it's a stepping stone.
Almost no one does.
No. You're like, I pay all this money for a degree that I don't even use.
True.
Yeah, the only thing that you learned was how to get out of college.
Right.
Barely.
Facts, right? And some of us are being dragged through it. It's definitely a thing. And I kind of want to ask like a little bit of a further question into this where it's like, you know, a lot of us do focus so much on the future and we balance the, you know, being in the now. Was there something that maybe you came across in your 20s, 30s, maybe early 40s where you're like, I remember obsessing and stressing over this, and there was absolutely, like, in hindsight, why?
Well, I've lived sort of a different life than most people I know, because in my late 20s and 30s, what I realized is that I was in a prison. There were certain patterns coming up in my life over and over again. And I realized it wasn't being life mean to me. It was me creating a prison for myself. And so what I started doing in the late 20s and 30s was taking that prison wall down bar by bar. And I've spent my whole life doing that.
That's amazing. That is so hard to do too.
On that note, the same kind of note, I realized that I lived on the East Coast and I was stuck in my 20s. And I felt like unless I get it, my parents were lovely. I had to get away from, you know, being treated like a child and go out on my own cross country, and came out to California, and like my entire life changed. And everybody back home said, oh, don't go to California. They're all airheads and nobody reads and there's no theater. And it's like, oh, shut up. You know, it's like, I knew that I had a path and I had to find it. And so you have to have chats with yourself about what's right for you. And some people stay in the same town their whole lives. And actually, I bumped into an old friend, you know, from Astoria, Queens, where I'm from in New York. And she said, I knew you'd always leave. I just knew it. And I was like, oh boy, I didn't know it then. Here we are.
It's amazing what you find out about yourself. In the same vein, you know, kind of looking back, giving some advice here. How has like success changed? Like, what did success mean for you in your 20s and 30s? And then what does it mean in hindsight?
Huh.
That's a good question.
That's a really good
Stop
question.
Yeah. Deep question. We'll get to lighter ones, but this one I feel like is important.
Well, go ahead. Go, Maureen.
I went to college, so I did get my nursing degree, and I also got my certification for elementary education. So back then, I probably thought success was having a good job and also doing that whole got your degree, got married, had the kids, and had the house and the life in the suburbs. So got the degree, but none of the other stuff happened. So you have to be resilient.
But
And now success to me is having love, having friends, having something that you enjoy doing, giving back. So
that's so interesting, because that's a really good point of just letting your idea of success change. I wasn't popular in high school, so when I was in high school, I was dreaming of performing in New York. And when I won a ballet scholarship to the university, but when I got a chance to go to New York and perform, I went, and success was that I was off Broadway and national television and modeling, and I had dreamed of that all my life. And then I decided that really wasn't where I was supposed to be, and I wandered away from that. And every time the life has snapped its fingers and I've had a chance to move on, I don't refuse. I say yes. So then I fell in love and got married. And then my idea of success was giving proper birth. I did natural childbirth, proper birth in to two beautiful boys. And then my idea of success was stay home and raise those boys and make them as great a human being as you possibly can. And then when they went off to college, my idea of success was getting back into the industry and performing if I could. And I got on a film crew and at 50 and started working with a director on low budget films. And then I wanted to direct, and my idea of success was doing documentary films because I could do that and direct. And so I did. It's changed and changed and changed and changed and changed.
Right. The definition changes.
Yeah.
And I feel the same.
Oh.
Did you have to jump
Yeah.
in?
Oh, I did.
I mean, you wanted to jump in.
I did have a child. So some of that ideas of success, and then he turned out, I think,
Amazing.
perfect. So that for me is success.
So I started out also wanting to be a performer. Went to the High School of Performing Arts, got kicked out after a year, and then went to my local public high school in Queens, New York. Got the leads in the plays, and got great feedback. Went to college and stuff like that in the drama department in New York, and then still realized I had to get out to California. So my image of what success was getting out to California and becoming successful in the film industry. Well, my life took a turn. I needed to make money, so I was a production assistant, then a production coordinator, and then a producer for like 5 years while I was acting. And then a family happened. And then all of a sudden, while I was producing, this director said to me, "Will you cast for me?" So I was a casting director for 30 years in Los Angeles.
Oh.
And I became very, very successful. And I didn't know it. I didn't even know I was successful because I just needed to work and put food on the table and get the girls to college and pay for all this stuff. And I feel like my life took a turn. And also, like you, I'm back. I'm back being a performer. And it's pretty fabulous. And because I don't have I'm not saying I don't need cash, but it's not the same pressure as trying to make a living as a performer and, and recognition in a different way. And also having this retirement house has completely changed because, the producers and the crew and the cast, everybody is so open armed. And you're like, wow, I am so successful. Oh yes, I'm successful with my family. I'm a grandmother of 2 boys, and I think that's kind of also a very high success level of raising a family, and a lot of ups and downs. Some things, health stuff happen, and survival, and good feelings. Good vibrations.
I actually had an epiphany in my kitchen about 6 months ago when my family got together for a visit, that I had managed somehow, some way to actually raise a family. And I broke into tears. They were out in the living room and I broke into tears. I said, "Dear God, you gave me such good material and I didn't screw it up." They all love each other. They don't agree about everything. It doesn't matter. They love each other and they love being together. So yeah,
they love
just
you.
keep changing
Sure.
and changing and changing and changing. And not my idea of success hasn't changed, but my idea of success has fit into whatever part of my life that I'm in. It's like nothing has disappointed me. My joke is I thought I'd be in jail by the time I get done. See? And instead, I'm celebrating a life that I love. I've loved it because I'm an Aries and I will take that jump. Life.
Oh, that makes so much sense now. I feel it because I'm an Aries too. So I'm like,
an
oh,
Aries too.
Yeah, that door opens, man. I jump through it. There's just no question about
there's
it.
no second guessing. You're like, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
I think that all of us feel that raising a family was a really important thing. And even though men take part in raising the family, it's not the same as the mother and the homemaker. And that just goes to show out of what all of us talked about. It's pretty much has centered around children.
Mm-hmm.
And
grandchildren.
and
Yeah.
grandchildren. And I feel very fortunate. My children are wonderful kids. They're all three very successful, and their children are on the way to being very successful too. So we must have all done something right because they're all happy in what they're doing.
Oh, one last note, if you're done. My grandson doesn't know how funny I am. And that kind of pisses me off. But I'm like, I'm doing all this stuff out there and I'm making faces. He's 3.5. And it's like, dude, I'm really funny. Get me.
Well, I mean, we were talking about families and all that kind of stuff, and a lot of times that doesn't come without a partner. So I know there's a lot of women, millennial, Gen Z, all of that kind of stuff, who are just like, look, it's tough pickings, tough goings out here type of a situation. So I'm wondering, what's your no filter advice on finding and keeping a partner?
I can tell you what not. I can tell you what not to do because I haven't had success in that department.
Well, I found one and I kept him. And then, unfortunately, he passed away too young. But we raised great family. We had a lot of fun together. We had a lot of love together.
And you met young, right?
Yes, very young.
You were lucky. No, really.
Right, no,
lucky.
right.
Yeah, lucky for sure.
Let me tell you, I was 12 years a single mom of 2 teenage boys. And
That's rough.
no help from my paternal family and no help from the man who had given me the children. And you can do it. Let me tell you, you can do it. It's just a blur. That part of my life is just a blur, but you can do it. You can do anything that you need to do, and particularly if it's for your children. There's just no stopping a mother who is in love with raising her children.
That's true, 100%. I've been married twice, and each time, one for 27 years and one for like 5. And, I love them. And it didn't work out for reasons that I don't need to share with you.
Oh, share.
I think that wouldn't be cool. But everybody has things in their lives and why relationships don't work, and I wouldn't want to hurt them.
Right.
I can laugh here, but in any case, so I'm actually online. I met my second husband online. My first husband I met through other friends, and I think that's lovely when it
You're
happens.
out here with us, Dot.
I'm out here. I'm being a
out here
diva.
on the interwebs.
I'm on. I have a date tomorrow. With
Ooh,
Hey!
I hope he's nice. And I'm just looking for my next, not necessarily marriage. In fact, I'm not sure that I would ever marry again. It's all paperwork and technical, and why not just hang with each other and find a good mate? And it's hard.
And I still
I don't blame you.
I have absolute belief that a real, true, wonderful partner is coming now. I'm that chick that lives in the now. So
yeah, exactly. I feel hopeful. Although I have to tell you, and you guys probably know this, when you meet older men, not older men, men our age.
Golden bachelors.
Yeah, they don't take care of themselves. The young people that we're working with, they're all cool and beautiful, and in each of their own ways. And but the guys, they're not taking care of their teeth. They're not going for yearly physicals. It's like, I don't want to be nursing, although that might come eventually, but I don't want to be in the beginning, taking care of someone who's not taking care of themselves. And we are, look at us. We're gorgeous.
You're thriving. You're
and we're
thriving.
taking care of each other, ourselves.
Well,
Ourselves.
and we absolutely, there's no rule book about what age the next
Oh, yeah, I didn't talk
wonderful
about that.
young person is going to be, or
Just-
an older person is going to be.
Just look out the doorway. We have a bunch of
I know, that's what I was
good-looking,
saying.
I was like,
talented.
is your crew mostly dudes?
I do not
or
look at them
28,
because I
well,
can't.
Well, and here's
Crew's mostly dudes. Look at that. The crew's
Oh, if
mostly
I were
dudes.
28,
It's like,
it's
they're
like
good
being-
looking.
Oh,
in a
there's
candy
girl in
store.
Here's the
Yeah.
other thing. Bob Dylan is now 83. He lives in LA. He's out in Malibu. If anybody out there knows him, you
Well,
tell
we're
him
not
there's
dead,
a really
you know?
lovely lady that would like to meet him.
I'm going to keep an eye out for you. I'm gonna
Bobby.
keep an eye out.
Bobby, I'm out here. Look for me.
Well, then that has to, I have my other question then. Is marriage actually still worth it? Or is it just, totally overrated?
I think it's worth it.
I think,
I think it's
worth
worth
it.
it.
I think we all agree on that.
Well, I don't know.
I think it would be worth it if
If
it
it's
was
the right person.
The right person. It would be
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
magic.
absolutely.
Well, I did find the right person,
Yeah.
but it's not magic 24/7.
Of course.
it's not
You have
okay. Then I
to
don't want to
work-
get married now.
Right. You have to work hard at it.
I agree.
Right. Or it doesn't work.
My
It
mother
is a
always said
job.
that, and I didn't understand what that meant. And she would
Ooh,
talk.
say that again. One more time, Dot. Can you say that again? What did you say?
My mother always said, marriage takes work. And, you don't have ears for that when you're young at all. And I also thought she was a little negative about men, or they're such boys, they're such children. And now it's like, well, you might know some of that, but they have things that they say about us, that
It's a
we
two-way
ignore
street.
mostly. We ignore. But no, I mean, you have to find someone who's going to adore you.
You have to work with them.
Yeah.
But both people, I think
Yeah.
the clue is that both people have to be willing to work. One person working and the other person not doesn't
Exactly.
work. So if you find someone that's willing to work with you, and frankly, I don't think it matters whether you're married or whether you're just together in partnership. It's that two people have to really want to be together. And if they don't really want to be together to adore each other, what other reason is there?
And I don't want to argue anymore with anybody. You know what I mean? Not that both of
I
you
want to
married.
do that now.
Exactly. Who wants to argue? This is what you have. This is the shell of your life, or the globe of your life. You're in it, swimming along, trying to have a great life. That's the thing that we want to share, is have a great life. And yes, things are upsetting and things can get really funky, but yeah.
You sound negative.
Really? I'm saying the opposite.
You're finding everything out there to be a fault.
No. I'm saying the world is a great sphere, and you have to yes, we've all had ups and downs and some sadnesses. We've lost our people or our friends and family. And I feel like, no, you have to, like a little sperm, you have to swim out there and find someone who cherishes you and you cherish them.
Oh, Dot. Hopefully, third time's a charm for you.
Oh, I love this.
Yes.
Well, good luck on the date tomorrow. Hopefully we'll hear about it maybe on the podcast.
Next
You can give us a quick little update.
I will.
So now we're kind of moving on to a few funnier questions before we wrap up this interview here. I'm so curious, what's something young people do that makes zero sense to you at all?
That will you repeat that?
What is something young people do that makes zero sense to you?
I think they live too much of their lives on their phone instead of being in real life.
Facts.
In social media, you mean?
Social media, you know, all the above. Is
I
there
know.
anything else?
Interesting.
I
That's
have-
a really interesting
I
question.
have one thing.
Yeah.
I don't think people are reading books enough. I think people are, I mean, I know couples who read to each other. I don't know. It's not necessarily poetry, but it's like one will read a chapter and the next one will read a chapter. But I don't see anybody with books on the beach or.
Because they put it on their iPad.
I know. I don't like it.
Well,
I
but
think it's not
they're
good for them.
reading it. They're
Well,
not,
no, but that's
yeah.
just my
I don't like it either.
No,
but
it's
I
like-
like a book.
Yeah. It's like also a microwave. I know it sounds really old fashioned, but it's like, I think there's some sort of all kinds of demons out there in the power areas. And, just, I don't mean to sound hokey pokey, but warm it up on the stove,
Hey, if you haven't used a microwave to its fullest advantage,
No,
you
I
are
do.
missing something.
No.
I was gonna say, I'm like, man, I hand it to you because I be using the microwave all the time.
I know. It's like using aluminum foil.
And you
know.
could lie about it, heat it in the microwave, and say, "Oh, I just made this. We just whipped it up."
Exactly. That's
I whipped it up in the microwave. It took 2 minutes.
well, first date, he's not coming to my house. I just want to share that with you. I'm not cooking. Not the first time.
Good advice, right? Good dating advice.
no,
Don't
they
take
should
it
know
home
where
on
you
the
live.
first date.
Now, is this a date on a dating?
On an
app? A mutual friend didn't fix you up.
No, I wish that had happened.
This was on online.
I'm not going to
Yes?
say which app. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's on the apps.
I
You're
could.
using the app.
No, Facebook. It's on Facebook dating. I
I
know.
didn't even.
No,
You know
nobody
what?
knows about it. It's for free
I had
too.
no idea. I didn't know Facebook did that.
It has a little
Oh
heart
yeah,
on the
they
bottom,
do.
and then you look at it closely, and it says dating. I was like, "What's that?" Oh,
Oh,
some of
well,
it
you're
is
cute.
yeah. And I
Oh my
so
goodness.
sometimes I think, oh, not that I'm so high and mighty, but you are thinking that I'm interested. I don't think so. Like totally different. Not that they're
That's like
unattractive.
Groucho Marx, who says, "Any club that wants me is not good enough for me to be in."
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. It's so refreshing though, because like the sentiments are still like even at your age, the sentiments are still rather much the same with people my age. So glad to see we're consistent.
It's like the movie Taxi Driver. Are you talking to me?
Are you?
I don't think so.
I think everybody
Oh
is like
my
a special
goodness.
someone to share life with.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we all would. I mean, like, what's life without a little company, right?
Yeah. Companion.
So my next question for you is, we're all like, I kind of opened up the show with like, we're all just trying to do life, but life is doing us. And we're trying to like get our shit together. So what is your ultimate get your shit together like advice?
So I pick a ball.
What? Play pickleball.
Do things that you enjoy with people that you care about.
I could go on with that.
Yeah, I joined a bunch of clubs. I'm the queen of clubs. So clubs. I think, at our age, but at any age, I joined a ukulele club to play with, not to learn stuff. It's the bunch of seniors at a senior center. It's like, because I like that. Then I found that there's a knitting club, and they're not all at the senior center. There's stuff all over in your area for like activity. There's a bicycle club. I like to go biking, on my electric bike.
I like to bike on my electric
Oh, on
bike.
your electric bike.
I can go up hills now.
Yeah.
It's really fancy. But I think that if you're, you can get isolated. I live alone. Well, we all live alone,
No,
right?
I live in
Oh,
a
you live in
senior
oh,
apartment
you're so smart.
building, and there are a million activities in my
That's
building
great.
going on.
Do you use them?
Yeah, not all of them.
What do you
could
what do you do?
possibly-
Bingo?
First, sometimes
I love
I do
bingo.
bingo. I have exercise every morning
Great.
with them. They have lectures coming out. They have TED Talks. They have
That's
entertainers. They have.
Bubby, you are booked and busy.
I'm
Like,
busy,
you're booked and busy. You got stuff going on.
and so I don't need a guy. Mostly because the older guys are too old for me,
I agree.
and the younger guys don't want me.
Aw.
So
Well-
I'm happy just the way I am.
yeah.
I mean, you can try Facebook dating.
No, I'm not going on anything because I know how to flirt. I can go out on the street and find a guy, but
How about finding 4?
you got to do that for yourself.
But that's where the clubs come in. Like,
Yeah,
we're in
that's
different
how
places.
you meet
Yeah,
people,
it's
right?
true.
And maybe you'll meet somebody that way.
And
You know,
I
I think you're onto something with the clubs. I think
Yeah.
you're onto something because I definitely see a lot of my generation and younger being anti the apps now because they're just like, I got to meet you for real life, like we used to do.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
There are those things called meetups. You know about them, I'm sure, in your area.
Mhm.
And they're like clubs. They're like, oh, meet up for wine tasting, or meet up, to go to Muscle Beach, or meet up to do all kinds of activities, or just hang out. Book club. There's all kinds of that, and
Right.
you're fortunate you have it in this one
Yeah.
place, and I'd love that, but I don't. I live in my own house.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
yeah.
It's really important to embrace aging joyfully because it's so full of surprises and joy and things to do. And it's a marvelous time of life. Just don't let them trick you into getting old.
Right.
Exactly. We're all on the same page, I
Yes.
think. We all
Honestly,
have the same philosophy.
They try to tell people that they're old when they're turning 45 or 50. That's ridiculous. Push back against it.
I agree.
And I think that's changed. They're not trying to tell so many people that they're old anymore. Some of them are trying to find activities for people that might be getting older and need some
Moments.
I think that the food industry is putting too many hormones and things
oh well,
in
that's
food,
changing.
and that it's leading to doctors who are giving out medications, and medication cure one thing,
It's been
but
a
they
long time.
kill you in another area, and on and on and on it goes. I think it's been a vicious cycle, and I hope that Bubby's right and that it's getting better now.
Oh,
But boy,
I
oh
hope
boy, oh
so.
boy, don't try to trick me into thinking I'm old because I'm just not going to go
me
there.
too.
It's a mindset. It sounds like it's a mindset. You're just like, I'm not gonna subscribe to this.
Nope, not going to do it. Just going to stay in the now with whatever time I have and make that time so precious. What most people don't understand is that it's a gift.
Right.
And
Mm.
that's why they call
it is
it
a gift.
the present.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Woo-hoo.
Okay, I have one final question, and it's pretty short. So, finish this sentence. You know you're grown when.
Never.
Exactly.
I think you have to compromise with some things. I never felt like I was growing up or old. I just had really a good time until, unfortunately, my husband got ill and couldn't do it all himself. And so that's the time I took over a lot of the responsibilities. But I still had my fun, and I didn't grow up a whole 24 hours during the day, just part of that time.
Can you ask that question again? I got lost in that answer, and I had a senior moment. I was
Okay.
out with what she said.
It was, you know what, is a very good answer. It was a solid answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so finish the sentence. You know you're grown when?
When I had to put my big girl pants on, which is sort of what you said, and run my own life and take care of my own self and remember who I was and who I am.
Yeah, those to me it just sounds like responsibilities. You know you're grown when you have all these responsibilities and people start depending on you.
Yeah.
Well, I would answer the question, except my moment of knowing that I've grown hasn't come yet. But if I'll send you a postcard when I know I'm grown. Okay.
And it happens. All right, I won't hold my breath. How about that? Stay young forever.
I remember wearing my little sailor suit dress, and I was about 4 years old. And this is one of my first memories of someone walking up to me and saying, I hear you're going to kindergarten next year. I'm so happy for you. And I remember saying, oh, I'm bypassing kindergarten. I'm going straight to college. So,
Living life on your own terms.
I just don't buy into those kinds of moments. I just want to stay in the now and really appreciate and be grateful for this amazing thing called life.
I hear that. I hear that.
Yes, I'd say I feel like I've grown when I have come to love myself and I'm living the life that I want to live.
We're getting pretty close, though, here. Don't you think? Living life.
Maybe
I feel like
we're
y'all have made it.
close.
Like I feel like this is. I mean, as someone who is young and I'm looking and I'm listening to y'all, it's definitely a situation where I'm like, okay, maybe this thing called life isn't so difficult after all. Like maybe we just roll with it and see what happens.
Yeah,
That's
roll with it.
exactly
That's
what
a
we're
great
trying to tell
expression.
you, I think.
Roll with it.
No expectations for sure. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I thoroughly I love this conversation. Again, I love your guys' podcast. Definitely brings back memories of me just chilling with my grandparents, having a good conversation. So I love it so much. Do y'all know when it comes out? Like is it out weekly or anything like that? I would love to be able to have our audience check it out on a consistent basis.
Yes, and you know what we always say when you're watching our podcast? Please subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to us.
But why don't you come and visit us and join us here at the house one of these days and do a podcast, be a special guest on our podcast?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I would love that. Oh my goodness. Y'all want to make my day, my life, my year?
There's plenty of rooms in this
Yeah,
house.
we'd love to have you.
Oh my
Well,
goodness.
I think that there's someone doing editing and all kinds of stuff, and things come out all the time in different places, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat.
I know that y'all go live every once in a while on TikTok too. And I mean, there's definitely a way to reach out to you guys in that way too. I love how interactive your show is for the audience. So Slay Nation, I highly recommend that you go take a listen, you go watch. I was definitely in the gym and laughed out loud and everybody else looked at me. So it's just prepared. You're going to have those moments. Oh my goodness. Thank you again so much for joining. And Slay Nation, of course, as always, thank you so much for listening. Like they all said, make sure you like and subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Thanks for listening.